minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillah, from the teaching of awliyaullah, the reminder for myself in our spirituality and in our way towards Allah, Allah Almighty is the one who brings the test. No one can interfere with Allah's will. That has to be your basic understanding. Our basic understanding in Islam is Allah's will is everything. Iradatullah and the amr of Allah are the commands which are to be obeyed. Means then our life is like that schoolroom that the tests are coming, it's not from the teacher. The test comes from the main office. But the teacher's responsible to teach the subjects and to give us the tools. So that when that test comes we can successfully pass the test. Now if you didn't do your homework and you didn't live by those tools, and every time you fail your test you become angry, with the teacher. For what? You can't go to the teacher at school and say, it's your responsibility to make me pass. Say, no, it's your responsibility to study the subject. If you don't have a brain enough to study it and you don't have a focus enough to study it, you don't have an interest enough to study it and to put all its tools into practice, that's your level of belief, that's your issue in life. You cannot take it out onto the teacher. Means then in our analogy then to understand all our testing in life, it's not the shaykhs that test anyone, they have no power, Allah is the one with power. The shaykhs merely pray that, Ya Rabbi make it to be easy. If you're accepting anything from us, Ya Rabbi just make it to be easy, make it to be easy. Have rahmah upon us, have mercy upon us, Ya Rabbi. Means then our whole life is about how to pass that test. So then they give us all the tools that are necessary. And it requires a character like a rijal. When we say RijalAllah, the men of God, it's men and women. Means it's not about only the masculine and feminine, but more important is a state of maturity. That to reach to a state of maturity in which a man in the way of Allah it takes his practices serious. If you don't, then this is your level of Islam that you're trying to reach, you're nowhere near the maqam al-iman. When you take your life serious means then all that you've been taught of your practices, the tafakkur, to be firm in your prayers, to be given the knowledges and all of the teachings, your salah, your shahada, your zakah, your saum, your hajj, all of that given, and on top all the other tools they gave. The zikrs to tame the energies, every awrad that's been given, every zikr or recitation that's been given to bring the names of Allah upon the soul, to bring a peace and a coolness. The praisings upon Prophet to bring a nazar, to bring a gaze of that Divinely light from Prophet to gaze upon us, to make every fire to be cool and peaceful. These are the trainings. So when the RijalAllah are rising in a state, they struggle hard against themselves. Means that every test they come, they're in a tafakkur and contemplation that, my Lord, this test is coming and I don't want to become angry again. Because every time you fail you start back at square one. because Allah wants something. He wants a degree, a darajat to be achieved. When we don't achieve that darajat and we go back into the childish character, not the manly character, not the mature character. The mature character understands that shaitan is playing with me. Rahman wants something from me, it's my responsibility to struggle. The first struggle is never to show that anger, never to show the anger, that don't let that fire to overtake you and burn all your amal and all your hasanat. So they struggle very difficult against their anger, against all these characteristics, so that their heart become like a beatific garden of fragrances and Divinely lights.
Have you started planning for the cost of post-secondary education? We will help you open a plan and access thousands of dollars in government grants. Give your child a head start with a CET plan. Did you know that it may be possible to start an RESP and not contribute any of your own money? Call today and receive 25 air miles reward miles when you book a consultation.
Knowledge, quality, integrity. Star cares about your best interests and have a wealth of experience to match. We've been in the business 30 years and are here to lead you every step of the way. Whether it's building the custom home of your dreams, doing gorgeous home renovations, building a laneway home, or revamping your commercial space. The STAR process works. Just ask our hundreds of satisfied customers.
We have several properties, and the best thing about Star for Life Services is that the work is done in a very timely manner, and we're always very pleased with the result.
STAR, let's make your dreams happen. Call us now to book your free consultation.
When that struggle is real, every action that they're doing is based on that maturity. Means that they want to improve themselves and they don't play with shaitan. They want to struggle against themselves and they want to continuously show Allah that they understand it's a test and I have to win this test, Ya Rabbi, I have to pass with my A and my B, preferably not a C, definitely not a D and nowhere near an F. So our life is a test, everything that coming. And when the energy is getting very strong and the nights are getting very holy, you can believe with all your heart and soul tests will be coming. Because that's the time in which Allah wants to give a payday. When that light begin to hit the soul, everything false within that insan is going to be burned by these lights. Every bad character that is occupying that insan, those lights come like a fire from Divinely Presence, immediately ignite that insan and all their ghadab and angers coming from that. So another analogy for us to understand is like a bathtub filled with rats. When they have space, they're all in their own place. But if you take something and keep pushing these rats closer to each other, they begin to attack each other. Means that when these lights come, it pushes every badness within us towards ourself. There's nowhere for the ego to hide inside the body. The lights are coming. As a result of these lights that come, they begin to thrash out, they begin to get angry. It's your own inner attack and all your own inner bad qualities coming out. That's what they call test. They gave us all these teachings not for entertainment, although it was entertaining and lots of nice food, but for us to pass. As soon as I become angry, Ya Atif, Ya Rabbi, why am I becoming angry? I immediately have to go into my area where I pray and I meditate and I have to wash. And nothing from the story of why I got angry is relevant. There's no excuse in this story. Oh, but this guy, he bothered me, this one, they bothered me. This is not relevant for Allah. Don't be lost in the different points of why you got angry. Don't give your ego any reason to justify, but merely go back into your area of seclusion and salah and you begin to tafakkur that, Ya Rabbi, let me to pass this. Then they remind you, go wash. As soon as you wash and make your 2 rakahs salatul wudu and begin to contemplate, Ya Rabbi, send your light and your najat. Go into sujood and say, Ya Rabbi, nobody can take this fire away but you. Don't let me to burn in this state, Ya Rabbi. Means how many times pious people entered into states of crying where they cry all night that they're failing, that these energies come and they become attacked. The anger comes, they become attacked. Means that Rijal, they understood, and this is the greatest fight that you can fight. Huge Sahabi, big immense battles, and Prophet is telling them, those were nothing. We're now entering into the great battles. Why? Because he's reminding, where my physicality goes, you're going to be left with your belief. The fighting against others is one thing, but to fight yourself when there's no victory, there's no prize, there's no gold, there's no treasures, you're not going to grab anything, you're going to beat yourself and you're going to deface yourself and you're going to come against yourself and you're going to be humiliated. And all of that is testing, and nobody wants humiliation, nobody wants to efface themselves, nobody wants to give credit only to themselves. You're the bad one, you're the worst one. Whatever you're hearing is only from you, whatever you're feeling is only from you. Efface and destroy yourself. And these are the characters of RijalAllah. They don't look to anyone else, they don't blame anyone else. They understood that my grave is for me. Allah's not going to ask about a story in the grave. You want to be raised to RijalAllah or you want to be child? Child never progresses. And that's why when they come to tariqah say and they sit amongst people and so, you know, I've been in this tariqah 25 years, like it's a prison sentence. 25 years I know this shaykh. Hey, you can sit 50 years in that audience, it doesn't mean you're going to be a doctor. If I go to the waiting room of my dad's office, he's a doctor, a big doctor in Beverly Hills, and I sit in his waiting room for 50 years, he's not making me a doctor. I can sit there all I want and I can talk to everybody who comes in the waiting room and give them all the false prescriptions. because I heard all the names of the medicines. And there are people who sit in the waiting room. There's all these characteristics, you got to rise. It's not a matter you just sit in the waiting room. You have to be an insan that you wanted to come against yourself, you wanted to efface yourself, you wanted to struggle against yourself. You blamed everything only on yourself, not on anyone else. What you didn't achieve was your problem. The loss of your mind, the loss of your body, the loss of your spiritual ability to rise. You have nobody to blame but yourself. If you take that path then you understand why they speak very humbly. The du'as, Ya Rabbi ana faqir, I'm a poor servant, I'm a kafir. At every moment I'm leaving my belief, I'm not thinking myself anything big. Only Allah can raise us. We cannot raise ourselves by our thoughts and by what we want to put of titles. I'm related to this, I'm the baba of this, I'm the uncle of this. These titles mean nothing. The only title that means anything to Allah, have you been crushed? And did you cry to me that you're a kafir, you're a munafiq and that you're the worst of character? Only I can raise you with the right character. I can give you a title. If you face and come to me with nothing, because only at that time you have to recognize it.
Did you know that your child may be eligible to receive up to $10,000 in government grants to pay for his or her post-secondary education? My name is Sikandar Hayat. I am here to help you. Call today for a free consultation.
Many people come and see me saying how difficult it is to get into the market and buy your first home today. At Shah of Kukutlam, we have a range of solutions that helps you find the perfect home that fits your needs. For over a decade, we have helped hundreds of clients, from first-time buyers to seasoned investors, achieve their goals. We also provide free seminars and workshops, so when the time comes, you can make an educated decision to set you and your family up for life. Whatever your needs are, whatever your goals are, come and see me. My name is Shah and I can help you find the perfect home.
If you don't understand testing and you think you're great and everybody is wrong and everybody is talking about you and you're the shiny one. No. When I see everything in myself wrong and I begin to cry unto Allah and I say, I'm nothing, I'm nothing, I'm nothing, Allah has to respond back, you're nothing but I'll raise you. You're nothing and I agree with you as nothing. But if I raise you, I shine upon you, I place the love of Sayyidina Muhammad to gaze upon you, you're everything to me at that time. But if I want to give myself a value and fail all my testing, is of what value? So then they remind us, this is our life. Our life is about using these tools. Your life's path is what is your rank and what are you achieving. A mukhlas, everything they do is a sign of love. Every time they pray, it's an act of love for Allah. It's not an act by force. They want to wear and carry the sunnah to be revivers of Islam and the revivers of the sunnah of Prophet, to show how much they love Sayyidina Muhammad to get the nazar of Prophet, not to do it and be ashamed of it in front of other people. They don't care at all for this dunya, they don't care for anything from this dunya, they're not interested in any of the things of this dunya. All they care is that Prophet be happy with them. If they carry themselves with that light and with that love, everything that they're doing is for the correct intention. That's why then these RijalAllah, they give an example in our lives that they struggled hard against themselves. The concept of being with shaykhs and awliya is that they are responsible and they teach by that example. Why? So that one day if you should rise up to become a man of God, a mature person of Allah, that you too care more than yourself, care for the people, care for the nation of Sayyidina Muhammad which includes every creation. Every creation Prophet is caring for them. This is the love of Prophet. Bring them all my love, I'm going to intercede for all of them. So then the Rijal are teaching. Why do they send you their awrads? Why do they send you an email that you don't open and you don't care to even say thank you back? You think they need that awrad? They need to send you the awrad, but they feel ashamed that if you didn't recite that on that holy night, what they're going to tell Prophet, how you destroyed yourself again because you are your worst enemy. You have the desire to put yourself under the train and their whole life is about how to save you, send you your awrad, send you your wazifas, inspire you to contribute, inspire you to have a higher purpose than just yourself. If you can't see the difficulty coming, they can, and if you can't see the difficulty of the grave, they can, they have seen it. And if you can't see the blessings of sitting at the table of Sayyidina Muhammad they can, and they want that for everyone. They want Prophet to be happy with everyone, to achieve whatever they're achieving. Where Prophet says, this is all hadith, you have to want for your brother what you want for yourself. There are walking examples of that. If they're going to do their awrad and they think there's a barakah and a blessing in those du'as, they want everybody to recite it. If they're going to pray, they encourage everybody to come and pray with them. When you rise up, you begin to take care of your family. Here's the awrads, everybody try to recite. Here are the things we have to do. Get in the car, we have to go. This is a safety for us. If tomorrow you say you have cancer and tomorrow you say you broke your leg or your feet or something happened, who are you to blame? You didn't help your family, you didn't do anything to save them, more or less your community. So means why the Rijal do what they do is to save people so that they're not in difficulty. Their lives are not calamitous, they don't want to see any condition like that. That's the understanding. So when the testing comes and our life gives us an ability to interact with them, that's when you know your testing and your level of understanding. You thought you were such a good darwish until you spent a few days of testing with them. And you can't even complete anything that they ask you to do. There's something wrong, and it doesn't have to say it one time, doesn't have to say it 2 times, doesn't have to say it 3 times, doesn't have to say it 4 times, but you say it 100 times. But it shouldn't have been, it should have been said once. RijalAllah, they hear the order and they are samina wa ata'na, and it is done. Don't let that wildness show to people, you'll achieve nothing here if you're going to be wild. This is not the zoo. This is the training facility to reach Allah's heavenly kingdom. Kingdom, palaces, thrones, royal people. If the school for the barn is somewhere else where they're all haywan, all wild. You hang out amongst those haywans, that's something different. But the heavenly kingdom must have a different type of training. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifoon wa salaamun al mursaleen walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen bi hurmati Muhammad al-Mustafa wa bi sirri Surat al-Fatiha.
Have you started planning for the cost of post-secondary education? We will help you open a plan and access thousands of dollars in government grants. Give your child a head start with a CET plan. Did you know that it may be possible to start an RESP and not contribute any of your own money? Call today and receive 25 air miles reward miles when you book a consultation.